Let me ask you something. If a pharmacy is very good at treating patients, giving the right medicines, and counseling well, but at the end of the month, there is no money to restock drugs, can that pharmacy survive? The answer is no. And that is why today's topic is very important. Pharmacy is not just healthcare, it is also a business. Welcome to Health and Meds Knowledge. This is the Basic Pharmacy Knowledge series where we break down pharmacy concepts in simple, practical, and relatable way. Now, today's topic: what is pharmacy as a business? Let's start with something simple. A business is any activity where goods or services are provided and then money is received in return. Now let's apply this to pharmacy. In pharmacy, you provide medicines, which is the product. You also provide counseling and advice, which is what services. And then the patient pays. Now, that money helps the pharmacy to buy more medicines, to pay workers, to pay rent and bills, to keep operating. So, in simple terms, pharmacy is healthcare plus business management combined. Both must work together. Let's talk about products and services in pharmacy. Now, many people think pharmacy is only about drugs, but in reality, pharmacy provides two major things: one, products, and two, services. Let's talk about products. These are things you can see and touch. We have pharmaceutical products, medicines. This can include prescription only medicines, over the counter medicines. They can be branded drugs, which is original drugs, or generic drugs, which is cheaper alternatives with the same effect. Example, we have analgesics, painkillers, anti-malarials, medications used to treat what? Malaria. Antihypertensives, medications for what? Blood pressure. Simply, these are drugs used to treat diseases. Now we have the non-pharmaceutical products. These can include cosmetics, toiletries, medical supplies like gloves, syringes, etc. These are not drugs but are still sold in the pharmacy. Now let's come to services. This is where pharmacy becomes very unique. Services include patient counseling, drug information, health advice. Let me give an example. Explaining how to take medicine in a pharmacy is a service. And one thing we need to know, which is important, is that most of the times patients don't pay separately for this. This is included in what they buy. I hope you get that. The four P's of pharmacy business. Now, for a pharmacy to succeed, four key things matters. These are product, personnel, place, and price. Let's break each one down. Now, with the product, this is what you sell. This refers to the medicines you stock, their quality, their availability. If your pharmacy has expired drugs or you're always running out of stock, what will happen? Customer will leave. And if there are no products, there are what? There is no business. Simple as that. Now, the second P is personnel, the people working there. This includes the pharmacists, the technicians, the MCAs. One thing we need to know, which is very important, is what your attitude, how you speak, how you dress, how you treat patients. If you are kind, more loyal customers are going to come. If you are rude, you are going to have an empty pharmacy. Nobody is going to come and buy from a rude person. So, attitude is very important. The third P is place, that is location. This is where the pharmacy is located. Most successful pharmacies are near hospitals or in busy areas. and they are easy to access. And also, the place has to be clean and organized. Clean and organized environment builds trust. If your pharmacy is at a good location, plus it is clean and organized, you are going to get more customers. The last P is price. This is how much you sell your product. If you price your product too high, customers are going to leave. If you price them too low, you are going to lose. So pricing must be fair, competitive, and consistent. You must be very, very, very particular about this. Customer service. Let me say this clearly. Pharmacy is a people centered profession. Sometimes what keeps customers coming back is not even the drug, it is how you treated them. Good customer service means what? Greeting patients when they come in, listening to them carefully when they are talking, asking them the right questions, and being patient and respectful. But one thing you should know is that do not become too friendly to a point where customers start to owe you money. They'll come in and say, "Oh, borrow me this medication. I'll come and pay later." Sometimes the later never comes. Maybe it's on judgment day that they are going to pay. So note that and be careful. Now let's talk about profit. Profit is what? Selling price minus cost price. Let me give an example. If you buy a drug for 10 cedis and you sell it for 15 cedis, what is your profit? 5 cedis. Simple as that. Now, there are two types of profit. Just to expose you, we have accounting profit. This is simply buying and selling difference. And then we have economic profits, which includes hidden costs. You can read more about that. But for now, just understand that profit is what keeps the pharmacy alive. How to improve profitability. Now, here are practical ways to do that. One, better service. You need to provide better service, and if you do, that is going to bring in more customers. Good stock management. Avoid running out of stock. If there are no products, there won't be what? Business. Now, reduce expiry. If drugs get expired, you are losing money. Prevent pilfering, theft. Put in place measures that is going to prevent stealing. And if you've been employed, do not steal. Seasonal planning. Let me give an example. Rainy seasons, there are more malaria cases coming out. So what do you have to do? You need to stock more anti-malarials. So simple improvements can increase profitability greatly. Let's talk about types of pharmacy business. There is the sole proprietorship. One person owns this business. You take all the profits, you bear all the losses. So simply you are the boss and you also carry all risk. Two, partnership. Two or more people own this type of business. You share the profits, you share responsibilities. But with this type of business, you need trust, you need agreement. Now we have limited liability company, LLC. With this type of business, the business is separate from the owners. This is safer legally, the owners are protected. So in simple terms, if the business has a problem, it doesn't fully affect your personal property. Let's move to the next topic, cost and management. Running a pharmacy involves many expenses: rent, electricity, stock purchases, salaries, licensing, etc. This is why keeping record and proper management is very important. Many pharmacies fail because of poor management and lack of capital. Now, pharmacy setup and regulations. In Ghana, pharmacies are regulated by who? Pharmacy Council. Good. They ensure that the pharmacy is properly structured, licensed, and the staffs are what qualified. Now, types of pharmacies include retail pharmacy, wholesale pharmacy, hospital pharmacy, and then what manufacturing pharmacy. Now, let's talk about arrangements of medicines in the pharmacy. Medicines in a pharmacy can be arranged in different professional ways by therapeutic classes where they are grouped by what they treat. Example, analgesics grouped together, anti-malarials together. Now, they can be in alphabetical order where A drugs are here, drugs starting from the letter A, B, C are arranged in that order, or by dosage form. So tablets will be here, syrups will be here, or by frequency of use. Maybe fast moving drugs are kept closer and the other ones too are kept at the back. Now, one very important thing we need to know is that prescription medicines, that is class A medicines or POMs, should not be displayed openly. Only over the counter medicines and cosmetics can be visible. So now you understand clearly pharmacy is not just about helping patients, and it is not just about making money, but it's about balancing both the right way. Because if you focus only on money, patients suffer. If you ignore money, the pharmacy collapses. And when the pharmacy collapses, patients are going to suffer. So a great pharmacy professional understands both. You are not just a healthcare provider, you are also managing a system that must survive. If this video made things clearer for you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with your colleagues, interns, and pharmacy friends. And don't forget to subscribe to Mary Globe Health, that is Health and Men's Knowledge. Let's keep learning, growing, and becoming better professionals together. I'll see you in the next video if God permits. Bye bye for now.